Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today's high is going to be 79 degrees and sunny. The roofers have arrived. They're going to start at my neighbor's house, which is good. So you're probably going to hear a lot of barking interspersed throughout my videos, and I apologize ahead of time. But they bark a lot when there's no activity going on. So with all these people, I'm sure it's going to be a bark fest. So I'll have to work around that. Otherwise, I won't be making video for several days. So I asked the guy this morning how long it's going to take them. And they said to get the two houses done probably the middle of next week. So it's going to be a long, noisy week here at Ellen's Abundant Life on Less. So, but we'll carry on, and hopefully the weather will hold out. Now Friday it's supposed to rain, but we'll see. They say that a lot of times and then nothing happens. But I'm sure under the circumstances it probably will rain because that's the way life is. So anyway, I'm going to start out my day by tasting my coffee. And I know it's going to taste good because it's always the same coffee lately. I still have some of the Folgers hazelnut decaf that my Mark's store always carried for years, and now the last couple times I've been there they haven't had it, but that's okay. A couple of you have suggested that Target has a decaf, hazelnut decaf, and I'll check that out and see if I can find some. But I do have a coffee in my coffee stash, so maybe I'll just work on using that up. The reason that I use decaf is because with all my GI issues, caffeinated coffee is not good. The caffeine in coffee irritates the upper GI tract, so I have to be careful with that. So anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee, and then I will be back and meet you at the budget book. All right, here we are back at the budget book, a brand new month. Hopefully I can do as well this month as I did last month. So it started out really well. No money spent yesterday. And I don't plan on spending any money today. Now the roofers have finally arrived. They're starting on my neighbor's house. And since our houses are attached clusters, they're attached at the garages. They're townhouses. They're not condos. But and my garage has 2 leaks in it, so I figured I needed to get my roof done, and she needs hers done too. It's been 20 years, so, and even though I had this house built, I think it was in 2003, you know, usually builders don't use the primo grade stuff, so everything is builder's grade. But it's held up pretty well up until now. I haven't had a whole lot of problems, but now everything is coming due at once because 20 years seems to be the time where everything starts to go on a house. So anyway, I need to tighten the belt so that I can get these repairs done. And there's a bunch of other repairs that need to be done that I'm hiring someone else to do. So he's supposed to get busy on his things the middle of October. So we'll see how it goes. Lots of money flowing in, not lots of money, or lots of money flowing out, not lots of money flowing in. I wish there was lots of money flowing in. That would be great. Well, anyway, I forgot what I was saying, but Yeah, the month is starting out okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm planning on doing a very low, no-spend October. All right, I'll be back later when there's a few minutes of peace and quiet. All right, for brunch today, I have this black Krim tomato from the garden that needs to be eaten up. I have these imitation bacon bits from Ollie's that I got quite a while ago. I like these. They're accidentally vegan. I have some mayo that I bought on markdown, and Hellmann's is like $5 now. That's ridiculous. I refuse to pay that. I'll buy an off-brand instead. I have some romaine lettuce that I need to eat up. And I still have a little sourdough left, so I toasted that up. And I washed all the romaine, so that I'll put in the refrigerator now, so I'll eat it. I hate washing lettuce. I don't know why, but anyway, if it's washed, I'll eat it. If it's not washed, it tends to just sit there. So, okay, I'm going to make a quasi BLT and use up some of these ingredients that I already have. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian, and you don't have any bacon and you have a taste for a BLT, I love BLTs, get yourself some bacon bits, put the mayo on the bread first on your toast, and then put your bacon bits on top of the mayo so that they have something to stick to. And this is my last beautiful tomato of the summer. So there won't be any more. This is the black Krim. So I think that'll be delicious. Right? Does that look good? Yeah, I know. You like lettuce, and you had a lot of lettuce this morning. Yes, you did. All right, here. These guys love lettuce. Yummy? Is that yummy? Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to put salt and pepper on my tomatoes. And then I'm just going to put the lettuce on, and I'll have a BLT. So even if you're vegetarian, you don't have to give up your favorite foods. Just make a vegetarian version of it. All right. I'm going to put this together. I want to eat. I'm hungry. And there you have it, a vegetarian BLT. All right, well, today's dinner, I thought I would make some mushroom fajitas. In this bag are some portobello mushrooms that I got on markdown for 50 cents, some cherry tomatoes from my garden, the last pepper from my garden, and some fajita mix that's been in my pantry forever, and some liquid smoke. So I'm going to just go ahead and combine all these ingredients. I also have an onion that I'm going to use, and some green onions that I'm going to garnish it with at the end, but I'm trying to use up what I have. I'm going to see if I can not shop at all in October. I should be able to do that and use up the things I already have. So we'll see how that goes. I may need to pick up a couple things, but I'm not planning on doing a big shop this month. All right, I'll be back when this is all put together. All right, I mixed up the fajita mix according to the package directions, cut my peppers and onions into strips, and here are my mushrooms that are sort of dried out a little bit because they were in the bag, but that's good. That'll make them even more chewy. So I added a little bit of liquid smoke to the fajita mix, and then I'm going to cut up some of these tomatoes and stick those in there too. So that should be quite a bit of fajita mix, way more than I can eat in one meal. So that should be enough for 2 or 3 meals. I have flour tortillas, and that should be a good meal. So I'll be back when I get this all cooked up and put together. I'm going to make some rice to go along with my fajitas for tonight's dinner. So in here I have some just plain white rice. I added some nutritional yeast, about a good heaping tablespoon onion powder, garlic powder, some homemade chicken, not chicken seasoning. So that's in there. And then what I'm going to do, this is the pan I made the fajitas in. And it had a whole lot of good flavor in the bottom. So I'm going to use some of this. I added water to it. I'm going to use some of this to add some nice flavor to my rice. So you can do that with meat or, veggies, whatever. So I'm just going to make some rice, and that'll be going with the fajitas. Well, I'm going to make some mushroom fajitas. So I have rice, mushrooms, peppers, and onions with fajita seasoning, guacamole, some tomato. I don't have any refried beans, but I do have this roasted garlic hummus. So I'm going to take some of this and add some ground cumin to it and just warm it up a little bit. So I'll use that instead of refried beans because I need to use this up. So all right, and then I have 2 flour tortillas that I heated up in the microwave for just 20 seconds. And that's going to be my dinner. Oh, and some lettuce too. All right, I'll be back once I get these put together. Well, here are my fajitas, just made with things I had on hand. And then I'm going to top these with a little bit of shredded lettuce, and that's going to be my dinner for tonight, and I know this is really going to fill me up. So there we go, using up what I have. Any bits and pieces of leftovers, things that need to be eaten up. That's my mission for this month. That and very low no spend. Well, okay, that was my exciting day. I made some food. Well, at least I'm sticking to the plan. That's my plan for October, is not to do any shopping. I may have to pick up 1 or 2 things, who knows. But that's the plan. No low spend, and yeah, just use what I have. So that'll help me twofold. It'll help me use up some of the food that I already have in my prepper stash, or in my refrigerator. I still have quite a bit of produce in there from the garden, so I want to use that up before it goes bad. And there's not going to be a whole lot more of a yield from the garden. There's still some chard and kale out there, but not much. And a few green tomatoes. They may ripen, who knows. Next week it's supposed to cool off again. It's really nice, high 70s, low 80s. So I was talking to the roofer guy, and they're working on my neighbor's house, and then they'll work on my house, and then they'll do the garage. I guess that's the plan. And then when they're all done with that, then they're going to do the windows. Now, my neighbor is getting 2 windows, and I'm getting the front window, which is actually 2 very big windows together. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm very happy that that'll finally get done. So it would have been nice if my handyman could have trimmed the trees and stuff around the house before the roofers, but he was busy until mid-October, so that's not going to happen until then. And yeah, we're just one day at a time. That's all you can do. One day at a time, one task at a time, and try not to get too crazy. Sometimes things just happen in their own good time. So dinner was very good. The fajitas, the mushroom fajitas were very good. And I liked that the mushrooms had already started to dehydrate a little bit. They weren't real dry, but they weren't as wet as mushrooms can be. So they turned out very meat-like. The texture was very, very meat-like. So in a pinch, you know, if you don't have meat and you have mushrooms, give it a try. You know, vegetarian fajitas are really good. So that was a success. The BLT, I really enjoyed that. Keeping some bacon bits on hand, and if you can't afford bacon right now, because I know it's very expensive, that made a really good sandwich. So I think it's important that nowadays, with the prices so crazy, that we try and be a little bit inventive with our food rather than just go out and line somebody else's pockets, because I think a lot of this is price gouging, to be honest with you. Because at least around my area, there aren't any, what do you call it, shortages. You know, there haven't been for quite a while. When the big C first happened, of course, toilet paper, you know, that was all over the place. But that was because people hoarded it, because they were afraid they were going to run out, because the thing came out of China that said, you know, most of the toilet paper is made in China, so they may not be making toilet paper. But that was very short-lived, so I think as long as people don't run out and panic and just keep stocking their pantries at a slow and steady pace, I think you'll be okay. So using up what I have in the pantry, some of the older stuff that I don't want to go bad, so I'd rather use it. And then sometimes you buy things and it's, you know, it sounds good, so you buy it and then it sits in your pantry because you either forgot about it or it wasn't something that was as good as you thought it was going to be. So those things I'm not going to replace, but the things that I use all the time, those I will continue to replace, like flour and sugar and, you know, all the other things. I like to stock certain plant proteins. I like to stock tofu, and I will freeze that. I'm not a real fan of just plain old tofu, but I do like to use it when I make some of the vegan meats. 86 Eats, she has a channel and also a website, and she has a fantastic recipe for vegan turkey. It's like a turkey breast, really good. I've made it a few times already, and it was delicious every time. And you can always mix and match and put your own seasonings in. It doesn't have to be exactly like the person that invented the recipe. You know, you can make it your own. That's what I do all the time. That way, it's geared to my taste buds and not to somebody else's. So I like to stock that. I like to stock textured vegetable protein. And that's too what they put like in the Dollar Tree beef patties. You know, they stretch the meat that way. I think cafeterias used to use that back in the day to stretch meat. It's been around since the 50s. It's nothing new. And it's just a substance made from vegetable protein that you rehydrate, and then you can season it. It doesn't have much of a taste on its own, but you can season it to your liking, and it's really good. It's got a lot of protein. So I also like to keep Vital Wheat gluten around to make seitan, or you can take a bag of flour, and you can wash the flour, and you can have, it's just what it is. It's you wash the starch out of the flour, and what you have left is the gluten, and it becomes very fibrous and very meat-like if you cook it. So there's nothing weird in it other than flour, and that's what Vital Wheat gluten is. It's just a dried form of wheat gluten. That's it. And that's been around for centuries. I think the monks in the, I don't know if it was Tibet or China or somewhere out east, they were people that did not eat meat. So that was a source of protein for them. So there's nothing weird, nothing new about that. Now, if you buy it already prepared, read the ingredients. You know, I mean, any prepared food, same thing with the Impossible burgers or any of their sausages and stuff. They do add other ingredients, but you can make them on your own with very clean ingredients, and there's nothing weird in it at all. So anyway, I'm glad I used up some of my food. The freezer at my mom's is almost empty, so I'm happy about that. So now I'm down to stocking up one freezer and my little freezer in the garage, and that I got after my other freezer died. So it's not like I have a big huge hoard of freezer food. I don't, but I have enough to get me by for a while. And that's the way I want to keep it. I want to keep those two freezers stocked. So as I use things up, things that I like will get restocked. So anyway, yeah, not a real exciting day. Sitting around still with my little heating pad. Getting old, folks. Oh well, I always tell myself this too shall pass. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.